This is our radio transmission on demand for Kent. Thank you very much for joining us. I was hoping you could talk a little bit about, to start us off, the research behind people with bad breath and the impacts that has.
No problem at all. So the research conducted by CB12 has shown that in your area, 77% of people say that unpleasant breath they find more unattractive than, say, for example, someone's bad sense of humour, foul language, or poor personality.
So when people have bad breath, they might worry about what that actually could indicate about a body.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of the time there is that is what the problem is. It's the malodour is something else is going on underneath the surfaces there, and that can be, are they dehydrated? Do they have the right diet? Have they got gum disease? Have they got tooth decay? Or is it a combination of all of these things? And that's when we need to start delving deeper a little bit and, finding out what is the problem there, how we can help them, and alleviate the symptoms.
So in some ways, is it the case if you don't really find the problem, you're not really going to be able to cure it?
Yeah, I mean, bad breath and malodour is multifactorial. It's not something that, you have one day and then the next you don't have it one day and then the next day it's there. It happens over a little bit of time. It tends to need certain factors that will influence the malodour to come on quicker in certain circumstances. Dehydration is a big one. Anytime you make the saliva content lower than it needs to be or less full of nice, wateriness, then what happens is you get the bad bacteria start to overgrow and you get that malodour coming across to another person. Then looking at diets, if you don't have things that are high in fibre, things that are quite rough in texture, they don't then help clean the mouth, and the food is allowed to sit in there on a microscopic level and feed these bad bacteria and cause the malodour to proliferate once again.
And I suppose that can go on to affect your life on a daily basis, really.
Absolutely. I mean, I've got patients who will avoid certain situations, interviews, dating, and then on the other side of that, I've got people who will avoid meeting certain people because they know that they've got bad breath, but they won't tell them. And the people that have got the bad breath don't, perceive them to have problems. So that it's like a catch-22 situation. Until we break down that stigma and figure out why it is this causing you a problem and how we can, combat it, then we can't overcome this sort of stigma and this little sensitive issue that we have in the UK.
So are there easier ways of preventing bad breath?
There are easy ways to prevent it, and they need to be consistent, well-maintained, and practiced every day. It's not something that you can, hear today, gone tomorrow. It's something that needs to be done every day, properly and understood. So, we all know that we should be brushing it in the morning and in the evening, but what about that time period from the morning to the evening where there's a 12-hour gap where the oral cavity and the tissues that are inside it, they sit unopposed. The bacteria doesn't have anything that's to stop it from, causing damage. And we're here to talk about how a specifically designed and targeted mouthwash that's used in the middle of that day can help stop those problems and help alleviate those symptoms.
So is there anything else you'd like to get over to our listeners?
Yeah, I think, keep it constant, keep it consistent, and practice it well. Go and see a dentist if you think, you're suffering from some problems. There's so many easy ways, tips and tricks that you can, get around this little sensitive issue, and it's not something that we should be hiding in the dark about. It's something that we need to be positive about, and we can help you. And there is things that can be done, and they're simple, they're not drastic, and they can be done every day and by everyone.
So how can our listeners find out a little bit more information on this?
So to find out more information, you can go to the website, that's cb12.co.uk. You can follow us on Instagram or like our page on Facebook.
Well, I'd like to thank you very much for taking the time out to talk to me today here at Art Radio Transmission in Kent.
No problem. I hope you have a great day.